What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. Today's video, we're going to go over the 7 ways to determine whether or not an item is worth selling on eBay. Now this is a really important topic because one of the most common questions I get is, what should I sell on eBay and is it worth it to list X? So we'll go over that in this video. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing. We'll see you inside. The most important way to determine if an item is worth selling is whether or not it has sold before. So you want to use the eBay app on your phone when you're out and about to figure out if it's worth it or not. So I use the term shoes, which shows over 1 million sold in the last 90 days. So now there's valid proof that shoes is a hot category. Now we have to go a little bit more in depth and narrow down. The second and third way to determine whether or not an item is worth selling is related. So the first part of it is figuring out who the customer is and what they might want to buy. So as an example, if we're going to use shoes, Adidas is a very, very popular brand. So let's say we take the brand. Now, the second part of knowing the customer is knowing that specific category, having knowledge on the actual items. What about Adidas would make it so somebody would want to buy it? So this is a very popular Adidas silhouette. It's the Stan Smith. Now, an Adidas and the Stan Smith shoe, those are both really good brands and really good categories. So that's two things you have going for you. The more things you have going for you, the more somebody might want to actually buy the item. So we have two things now: popular brand, popular silhouette. Number 3, this is also a collaboration with Pharrell Williams. He's a popular musician. So now you have another thing going for you. So the more specific you can get on the item, which requires product knowledge, that's a specific title, really good photos of all the different features of the item. If it's new with tags showing people what the original MSRP is and the exact size, the more specific about the style, size, shape, features you are about the item is going to help you determine whether or not it is something worth selling. Usually people who are collectors are fantastic salespeople in their specific niche because they know what's valuable and what things are worth. Number 4 is profit margin. So you have to figure out your risk tolerance for how much you invest. So if you spend 10 and you want to double your money, you also need to know how long of a time frame you want to get your money back. So I recommend 3 months or less in items that have sold in the last 90 days or less systematically. So if there are 90 items for sale and 90 items have sold in the last 90 days, that means at least 1 sells per day. And historically, all the items will sell in 3 months or less. So if you stick to this and are really strict with, I want to make $10 profit and I want my item to sell in 3 months or less, it'll really help you pick which items you want to sell or not. And this is really important. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing. It's really important to understand it's okay to have a small store of items that sell fast. It's not okay to have a big store of items that don't sell though. Number 5 is, do you have access to the product? So it could be the most profitable item in the world, but if you can't get it, then it can't be something that you actually systematically look for. So I always recommend joining our group at patreon.com/the-resellers-podcast, going to the section where we talk about how to find items locally, and you need to be able to find items that require no shipping. This is really, really critical because if you can avoid shipping, then you can actually pass on that savings to your final customer. That's a really huge advantage. So can you actually get the item? Number 6 is, are you actually set up to list, ship, and photograph that item? There's a lot of profitable items that you should pass on, like a forklift, because it's very difficult to fulfill. So make sure you actually set up with the right processes and the right equipment to get those listings up, and just stick to what you can process quickly. Okay guys, number 7 is my favorite one, so please smash the like button, consider subscribing, and consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/the-resellers-podcast, where we go over number 7, which is how to dominate. Can you dominate in that category? I think about that before I pick up the items now. It's made it a lot easier for me not to be squirrel-brained because I focus on what can I have the most selection of and have the best selection of. So where I live personally, that's the reason why I've chosen clothing. I prefer shoes, I prefer lots of different categories, but where I live, what I have the most access to and what I can provide the best selection of and the most selection of is actually clothing. That's why I picked it. So if you can dominate in your category, what happens is your average order size goes up and you can sell more than one item to the same person. And that is a game changer because finding customers one by one takes forever and you don't develop any reputation. And without a reputation, you can't keep your prices high. This is a super hack. If you have a reputation, you can charge most of the money on the item. If it's worth $80, you can always get $70 or $80 for it. But if you're a newbie, if you've never sold that item before, people aren't going to trust you as much and you can't get 70 or 80. You might be lucky to get 40. So trying to develop that reputation is how you become the best and the most at something, and that's how you really dominate, and that's how you set yourself apart from all the other resellers. So I appreciate you guys. Please smash the like button, consider subscribing. See you next time.